The hallway was buzzing with the usual pre-class chaos, lockers slamming, sneakers squeaking on tile, voices echoing in teenage bravado. But amidst the noise, one girl moved like a shadow, quiet, unnoticed, almost invisible. Her name was Amina. A petite, soft-spoken high school junior with thick glasses, a messy braid, and the kind of silence that invited whispers and stares. She kept her eyes down, clutching her books tightly, always walking close to the walls like she was afraid of taking up space. No one really talked to her, except the teachers who knew she always turned in her work on time. And the bullies. Especially the bullies. Today started like any other day. Amina made her way through the corridor, hoping to slip into chemistry class unnoticed. But she never made it to the door. "Hey, freak! Where do you think you're going?" sneered Raza, the self-proclaimed king of the senior class. His voice sliced through the air like a blade. Behind him stood his cronies, Samir and Haris, always ready to laugh at someone else's pain. Amina froze, heart pounding in her chest like a drum. She didn't answer. She never did. That only made them bolder. Raza stepped forward and grabbed her collar. "You think you can ignore me?" he growled, yanking her forward. Amina stumbled, her books crashing to the floor, glasses sliding off her nose. A ripple of laughter echoed down the hall. But something in her shifted. There was a pause. A moment too brief to notice, where she looked up. Really looked. Not with fear. Not with hesitation. But with calm, razor-edged focus. What no one at school knew, not even her teachers, was that Amina had been training in Judo since she was 9. Her father, a retired army officer, had taught her discipline, control, and above all, never to use her strength unless absolutely necessary. Today, it was necessary. In one fluid motion, Amina grabbed Raza's wrist and twisted. He didn't even have time to scream. A sharp snap rang out as his wrist bent backward, unnaturally. His knees buckled, and he dropped like a stone, clutching his arm in shock and agony. Haris lunged at her, but she was faster. A pivot, a sweep, and he hit the ground with a thud, groaning as she locked his arm in a clean, practiced grip. Another crack. Another wrist broken. Samir stood frozen, mouth agape. He looked at her like he was seeing a ghost. Then he ran. The hallway was silent now. Everyone was staring. Amina stood there, shoulders squared, breath calm, like nothing had happened. Then she bent down, picked up her glasses, placed them gently back on her face, and walked to class like it was just another Tuesday. The news spread like wildfire. Some exaggerated the story, saying she flipped them through the air like an action movie. Others just repeated what they saw quietly, respectfully. But Amina didn't care about the stories. For the first time, people looked at her differently, not with mockery, but with awe. Some students apologized for not stepping in sooner. A few even tried to talk to her, sit beside her in the cafeteria, or ask her about judo. But Amina didn't do it for attention. She did it because enough was enough. Despite the bruises and broken wrists, the bullies were lucky. Amina hadn't gone further than she had to. And the principal, though shocked, reviewed the footage and had no choice but to suspend the boys. "Self-defense," he said with a quiet nod. "Effective, too." Over the next few weeks, Amina began to change, not into someone loud or flashy, but someone steady. She started a girls' self-defense class after school. At first, only 3 students showed up. By the end of the semester, there were 20. She still didn't speak much, but when she did, people listened. She'd earned her voice the hard way. Not by shouting, but by standing her ground. The real challenge wasn't the bullies. It was the fear, the years of shrinking, hiding, swallowing her anger. The fear of what would happen if she stood up. That day in the hallway wasn't just a judo demonstration. It was a breakthrough. Amina had been underestimated, overlooked, and mocked. But now, she was a reminder to every quiet, bullied student that strength doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it waits. Sometimes, it learns. And when the time comes, it acts. By the end of the school year, a mural appeared in the gym, commissioned by the student council. It showed a girl in a judo stance, calm, focused, unafraid. And in small letters beneath it,